What's up,
Hey,
guys? Welcome to It's Whatever podcast.
in person, bro.
In person. Sunday is for the boys. Today, Manchester United won
Yeah, bro.
2-1 versus Andrew Tate's team,
Luton versus
Luton.
Yeah, dude.
That was crazy, man. They had the fastest goal in Premier League history. It was the fastest visiting team
Something
to
like
score
that.
a goal.
Something like that. I don't know, but it was a good game. But man, we were tired after yesterday, huh? Because we were trying to do a stream yesterday, man. It was not good.
Yeah,
But-
yesterday we tried streaming and it was horrible.
Yeah. So we're down about that, but we don't let that get down. You don't let that get you down. You keep on trying. And we went back to the old reliable, the Yeti, and the webcam.
yeah. I mean, I think there's a problem with trying to have like an actual camera record and then like have these wireless mics. Like the more technology you add into the mix, the more chance it is to fail, right?
Yeah, I think just
Webcam.
there's a
and
reason
yeah.
the simple setups work sometimes, right? Like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Why change what works?
Yeah, exactly.
But I just thought with all the years of like setting up podcasts, like they would just work flawlessly. But no.
I know. I think maybe if we had like a better computer with more RAM capability.
Yeah.
Maybe, but for now, we can do like this and be fine.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
I think what we did get from yesterday is that we got a lot of variety of topics that we were diving into. We're talking about the immigration problem that we're going through right now on the border.
Mhm.
We're saying, like people right now from other countries view the United States, they see a weak point, and it's that border. And they see our president, bro, Joe Biden, aka Sleepy Joe, aka
Sleepy ass Joe.
So, they're seeing a weak point, and they're coming to the border like 3 million in the past 3 months, something like that, at a crazy level, and that has its own ramifications on our country and our cities and our counties, where the local government gets affected because the budget. Then we think of it like this: every company and the way your cities are the same way. They have a budget for the year, and if out of nowhere all these people show up who are, they're going to be on welfare, they're going to be on housing, free housing and healthcare and food stamps and stuff like that. All those resources are going to get they weren't accounted for, and now they're going to be taken. So you're going to see an increase in taxes in the next year probably. So
yeah,
definitely
federal taxes, because I mean Texas definitely does not look like the immigrants. They're sending them to New York, they're sending them to California, any liberal state, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think Texas is going to implement taxes to pay for immigration, but definitely California, New York, Chicago, they're going to have like crazy state taxes, Yeah. It's going to mess everyone up.
Because they're so-called sanctuary cities, and now they're getting mad that we're sending them. But when we have that problem, they don't care. So it's like, hey, now because of y'all, we have this problem. Now you're dealing with it as well, and the government. We were saying, well, what can the government really do about this? Should they just what's it called? So the National Guard should be just stationed at the border and like not let anyone in. Like, is that so hard to ask for, or what? Like,
I don't think it's hard to ask for it. I think it's very like doable. Definitely like building a structure to like a wall. No matter how like Trump-ish that sounds, like Trump, like he made it popular because the way he speaks. But we need borders in our country, and the rate that it's like people are coming through Mexico from different races. Like if it's not just Mexicans coming, it's like different. It's like other people coming to the border.
Yeah,
and it's very suspicious. Like you're saying, you have a theory that most of the people who are coming. Well, sorry, you have a theory that some of the people that are coming are terrorists or at least military, because they're men in their 30s when they're most active. And there's even been some videos where like some immigrants are saying like, you should have known me. You would know me if I was in my country.
Yeah, but you won't know.
Yeah.
That guy, apparently he was a terrorist in Azerbaijan. So and those guys are they're free. Think about it like this. Let's say one person out of those 3 million that crossed was a terrorist.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough of a threat, bro. That shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Like that's enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because like the U.S. They kind of think like we're stupid, because the way TSA is at the airports, you have to have all the security, you have to pat you down. They have
shoes, bro.
The shoes, everything. You can't bring liquids, but then we have an open border. Like, it makes no sense, bro. You can travel whatever you want through the border, and we're not getting any of the fun drugs either. We're getting like the worst drugs. We're getting people who we don't know. Yeah, dude, like what's going on, bro? if they're bringing in
true.
some edibles or something, maybe that would be cool.
Yeah.
I'm really messing with you. But it makes no sense. Why would our borders not be secured? With we can't even travel TSA. It's on private. We gotta make it. I don't know why it's not on private. Why don't you fix that? And we'll just wait. Right now we're fixing our YouTube to be public because it's private. So I think if you just scroll, there you go. Public.
There you go.
Yes, and hit save.
Cool.
All right.
Now they can see it after or what?
Yeah, they should be able to see it. Like,
Cool.
yeah, it's very interesting, the whole border situation. And I have a question I want to ask you. Do you think that there's a justification saying that like New York was built off immigrants? First it was I think Irish, right?
Oh, Irish,
Irish,
yeah.
Irish, and then eventually Italians, and there's all these immigrants. So we should allow the city to grow by bringing in immigrants from all over the world. But do you think it? I don't think it applies because the influx of immigrants, like 3 million a year, is way too much than like the amount that came like back in the 1920s, right?
Oh, 100%.
And New York is already full. Like maybe in that time the city was developed, but not to the extent. And now it's like there's rent is so high, there's no place for you to go. Like people don't have that many spaces. To add more people into the city, I guess the justification saying that the melting pot of cultures is gonna like bring innovation and it's gonna bring like cultural change and art. I don't think it fits.
Yeah, I mean, you think back to that, that picture of New York where all the workers. You seen that video? That famous picture. That was like during a time where New York was going through a whole, like you're saying, a rapid growth. The Empire State Building, all these, they ran out of being able to grow, what's it called, like widthwise. So they started making skyscrapers, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a whole new thing. So I think, somewhere like it, I guess, yeah, Texas has like a lot of, open land and stuff like that, but most of it is owned privately. People own, like, all that stuff is not commercial.
In Texas?
Yeah.
Okay, so are you saying the immigration in Texas could work or no?
I don't know. I mean, that could be an argument. You could say, oh, yeah, you can do that. But like a city like Austin, a city like San Antonio, they're kind of already maxed out on growth, don't you think? Like,
yeah, I mean that's so like for example, Austin, they have so many toll roads. Just to go to the gym and come back, I had to pay 3 like different toll roads.
Oh my
God!
Right, you gotta when you get home, look up your license plate.
I look at my license plates, and so yeah, maybe there is no place to grow. I mean, there's already all the homeless people, so on top of that, we're bringing immigration into the country.
Yeah,
I don't understand why a president like Joe Biden and his administration would just allow it to happen. Like, I guess maybe because they know they're old and they're gonna die like within the next 10 to 5 years, and they're like, whatever, dude, let's ruin this country. And
I think it's like that. I don't know. I think
so.
It's a lack of confidence. Like, you're just lazy and shit. They don't want to. They don't. Like, you know what? I don't want to think about that. I don't want to deal with this problem. Just let them all in. We'll deal with the ramifications later. I'll leave them for Trump. He knows Trump is gonna win.
He knows Trump's gonna win.
He's like, I'm gonna leave him all this mess. I'm gonna leave him immigration problem. I'm gonna leave him, the wars. I'm gonna leave him all these problems. So speaking of wars, man, that's another thing we're talking about. We keep on getting involved in these wars that we shouldn't be getting involved in, man. You saw that Putin was basically saying, historically Ukraine has been ours since 862.
Okay, yeah.
And he's like, I don't know. If you're him, bro, like if someone we pushed the UN, or those are called the NATO, or not NATO. The UN, is it NATO? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
NATO. We pushed right to their border in Poland, right?
Right.
Like, we're so close to their border, and then he's like, "Fuck that! I'm gonna get Ukraine." Like, y'all are way too close, right?
Yeah.
That's what was going on, and I mean, you can't really blame him for that. He's trying to be precautious, Like,
Mm-hmm.
what if out of nowhere we just launch an attack on them? And I don't think we would, but I think he's just trying to prevent that, and he's trying to get his land back.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Putin was saying in the interview was that Ukraine was part of Russia a long time ago, and after World War II or something, they made it an independent country.
Mm-hmm.
But throughout the years, they started making it more westernized to the point where they were thinking themselves more of Europe instead of Russia.
Yeah, 100%.
And they were like even promoting neo-Nazism because the heroes, what they called the heroes of Ukraine, were actual neo-Nazis that destroyed Polish people and also like Russians. I think Putin also said that the Polish people had like affected the Ukrainian people way back in the day, super harsh, and that's why the Ukrainian people teamed up with the Germans to attack the Polish. I think he said something like that. Yeah, but it's interesting because like, why does America have enemies that are not its neighbors? Like, if you think about it, America has enemies on the other side of the world where you have to cross an ocean. Like, why is Russia one of our biggest enemies? Why is China one of our biggest enemies? Why isn't it that like China is dealing with other like Asian countries? I know they have the Taiwan situation, but there's a threat for America. The same with Russia.
Yeah, I guess you're right because like France and England are right there.
Yeah.
Well, not right there. They're closer than us, and they're also Western civilizations, right? So
yeah.
Why But I guess in a way they see we're the biggest threat, right? They're like second and third. In our eyes, they'll always be second and third, biggest and strongest countries. So then they just want to keep us in check.
I just feel like in theory, America should not really have a need for war, because if you look at history, England and France always like battled each other throughout history. They didn't like each other, the two different countries trying to take control of Europe. So that makes sense. They're like close in the same continent. But America, like, I understand the War of Independence against England to become independent, and then the Civil War that happened. But aside from those two wars, what other countries do we need to be fighting against? Like, we're secluded by ocean. We have like the biggest land. Like, there's no need to go. So it just makes us feel like the government really pushed war in other countries so that we would have the military complex and just affect people from being able to prosper fully. And it's just kind of like an oppressive nature.
Wasn't it? I think it was. What's his name? I think it was Teddy Roosevelt, who was like the big one who he's like wanted us to be this world power who goes and imposes on other countries, right? Carry the big stick.
Yeah, carry the big stick. I think he said something like that.
Yeah. Like maybe we're speaking wrong. I don't know, but I think you're right. Like World War I and World War II, we stepped in really late. We were like the last ones to join, and we basically made it the call. Before that, I don't even think it was called the Great World War I and II, right? Like it was until we joined that. Or were they still world wars before that?
I don't know.
But
I don't know.
Basically, when we joined, we changed the game. Like we're like, okay, we're gonna support the, I don't even remember who the Axis powers. Who were we with? I forget.
The Allies and the
Allies. So who were the Allies, right?
Who were the Allies? Yeah.
And the Axis powers were obviously our opposition, and then once we joined, like, oh shit, they got the U.S. like
yeah,
and that's why during World War II, what's it called? You told a crazy story about how they already knew about Pearl Harbor happening or something like that, right?
Oh yeah. I it was really interesting because it had nothing to do with history, but in my job, they had to deal with affirmative action. So I got to go see a famous lawyer who's like known in the affirmative action industry or whatever area, and he gets to see all these government contractors, and he went to the largest steel factory like in America. And basically, they took him to like some type of Batman caves, like the initial area of like that huge industry complex. And he said that there was papers where it was written by like the president telling the owners of the U.S. Steel to make a bigger factory like after the Andes Mountains. Andes Mountains, America, right? Rocky Mountains, yeah. Because they knew there was going to be a threat from the east that was unstoppable. Like basically, they already knew that Japan was going to affect somewhere and attack, so they wanted to have steel like outside the mountains because like no plane can go over the mountains till this day. So there's a lot of conspiracies about the country and things they know, and you're always meant to oppress us, which is why it's very important to have self-discipline. It's very important to have a clean house, to eat good, to work out, to save your money. Because if we've learned anything throughout this past decade, is that no government and no agency, nothing really is there to help you. Everything, it's like a lie. When you're a kid, like you kind of believe the government is there to keep you safe. You believe in the military. You believe in the school educational system. And the older you grow, the more you know that everyone's just trying to take advantage of you. Like, and now with social media, it's like they're taking away your attention span. So you really you end up just being lazy, like on the couch all day.
You got 3 hours a day to just focus on yourself. Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Like you wake up like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning to go to work. You work from 9 to 5, and then you get back home. What do you want to do? You want to maybe relax. Maybe you read. Maybe you watch some Netflix. Maybe you go to the gym. And then what? Then you have like 2 hours and you have to go to sleep.
That's true.
It's like there's no way to build like any wealth. There's no way to grow in like any sort of way. Like you have to pick one activity to do after work, and depending on your job, most people don't have the energy to do it. So, you know, that there's like there's like that's why like you have people like Gary Vee telling you have to grind, and it's kind of annoying, bro. Like Gary Vee, like grind, because it just feels like overwhelming. But your time is so valuable that you have to take care of your body, because the older you grow, the more things will affect your body. And the point is like retirement, dude. Like if you think about it, like Nikki Haley, the woman who's running, for presidency, she's not going to win. Obviously, it's BS. But she says she wants the retirement age to be like 75.
Oh my word!
It's
no,
like that's horrible, dude.
Yeah,
just because Joe Biden is doing such a great job at 80 years old, why do most of us have to be at 75, bro?
My dad, he was getting ready to retire, but they pushed the age to 67 now, so he's gonna work a couple more years before even getting that, which is crazy, bro. Because like,
it sucks because like other countries like Mexico, bro, like for what you call Mexico and how crappy it is, the streets and the crime or whatever, dude, it's like 50 or 55.
Oh, bro.
Yes, you can retire if you work for IMSS, if you work for like any no IMSS is like hospital. If you work for the state hospital, for the water sewer system, for anything that's like the country, you get to retire like 55.
Wow.
Like all my uncles have been retired for like a decade.
Oh, you're serious? Yeah. You still have a lot. So 50 is a good age, bro, because you still got some time like where you can actually do things.
Yes, you can do a lot of things.
A lot of shit.
And I think that's one of the effects, like how that's why like there's so much depression and there's so much infidelity in the world, and there's so much like people just being lazy, because if you look at psychology and I think it's like the hierarchy of needs, you need to like become self-actualized. And we're staying at the state of like production because of like the way like we have to produce in factories and Amazon and all our jobs. We never get to like experience like our talents, like you never get to do karate or jujitsu or try out like some type of like comedy or learn how to draw or paint, unless you end up being someone who lives like 80 and 90 years old and you have the extra time to do it. It's like it really affects men and women. So I think people really need to fight against their urges to just be lazy and just eat and just like, be on the internet all day and actually get to do something.
I remember when I first got this house and I started I was like, oh man, I got a lot of stuff I got to do every day. Man, I would get home, take out the trash, clean a bit, help cook, clean, all that stuff. And I'll be tired, bro. Like by 6:30 p.m., I'm like, damn, I'm tired. And I've still got to feed my dog and walk her. Like, I'm like, damn. Like, but now it all becomes very easy.
Yeah.
But like, it's like you said, you have to you got to become, just make yourself get used to hard things, bro. Like, if you think, oh, I'm going to chill this. On Sunday, I'm not going to do a single thing. I'm just going to rest.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to have a day like that once you're older than like 22. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, that never happens again. That the summers of when you were a kid and you wouldn't do shit, just go play with your friends.
Yeah,
it never happens again.
It's never gonna happen like that. And I mean, you can see celebrities and millionaires and people who are successful be able to take those lazy Sundays off. And you go on Instagram and you look, but that's because if you think about it, their 9 to 5 is working towards something that they enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Whereas most people's 9 to 5 is being productive, like production in like a factory or a job or an office.
Yeah.
So your Sundays and your Saturdays, they're not for you to rest, bro. They're for you to make enough money so that you can start your own path and not have to go for someone else's path, which is like your current job.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's when you can rest, That's
when you can. And then, but you do see a lot of people though. The good thing about the U.S. Let's talk about the good thing about the U.S. Where you can have like the good thing of capitalism. You can start a company. You can start, a food truck, or you can start something I've been thinking about. Starting an event center and renting it out for like quinceañeras, like events and stuff like that. Like the good thing about the U.S. is that you have, the open free market where you can like actually start a business based on an idea you have. Obviously, it's a huge risk though. Once you take out that loan for that company, you're betting on yourself, and the government is betting on you to fail.
Yeah.
Whoever's giving you that loan, they're saying, oh shit, they're gonna fucking fail. I'm gonna give them that loan. But it's up to you. You're gonna put in the work. If you work for yourself, then you can have that. You can work 12 hours a day. You can work those 60-hour weeks for yourself. And then that's when, having that work ethic pays off.
Right.
So
yeah, that's a good thing about capitalism is that you have the opportunity to become something if you work hard enough. It's a merit system. No matter how how bad they're trying to say their merit system is something that's for white people because like statistically they're going to do better than minorities. You can still become successful if you work hard enough. And I just thought of something that it's controversial, but I'm just going to say it for the state of going viral. But I think the open borders and the immigration is actually good for America, and it's actually good for you, and it's going to give you wealth. Because think about it: if there's all these immigrants and the government is actually giving them all these benefits, what can you as a citizen do? You as a citizen should take a loan for a mortgage, get a house, and then rent it out to these immigrants because the government is already like supporting them to stay here.
You're getting the money back.
Yes, you get the money back. Instead of just having a home that you pay off yourself for 30 years, get a mortgage and give it to some immigrants, okay? Some Zimbabwe looking ass motherfuckers. give them the money, dude. Get the money from them, bro. I wonder how that's gonna do, right?
You gotta charge $2,500 a month. Yeah.
I wonder how that's what's gonna do, bro.
That'll be good, bro. I mean, I kind of see that's a good hack. What's it called? I mean, they gotta get housing somewhere, right?
Yeah, right. It might as well be your house, no?
My house is available. Guys, I'm gonna put the address here. It's available.
You just go somewhere else.
$3,000 a month. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta grind. You know, I was thinking of something like super crazy, and I don't know why I just thought about it today.
Yeah.
But I was thinking we have a problem with school shootings in America to the point where it's like in music, it's in jokes, it's in movies.
It just happened last week during the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, the Super Bowl, bro. Like
come on. Man.
Yeah, there was like a shooter, right, or something like that.
Active shooter. They tackled him and shit.
They tackled him, yeah. And then there was another one at the church here in Houston, over there in Houston. Right. Yeah, there's another one in the mega church.
It becomes like one of those. Like it's like a bypass news week. Like it's you hear about it every
week. And obviously like getting the guns is too easy. Like why is it that when you go to California, Colorado to buy marijuana, you have to give them an ID, you have to wait in a room, they have to like check your ID, and then they let like a limited people into the store to get these products. Right? Yes. Yeah. But when you're going to go buy a gun, they're like they don't even they check your ID and that's it. But like you can just buy any gun. There's no like security system. There's no cop there. It's just you just go in and get it, right?
Right.
So that goes back to people need to be able to be self-actualized by doing things that they're actually interested in, exploring themselves, so that they're not all angry and just decide to kill people. But what I'm thinking is in the educational system, the high schools, the way that we can stop school shooters, one of them is by changing the curriculum. Because like when you're a guy who's like, you're like a little 15-year-old and you hate seeing the quarterbacks and the cheerleaders get the prep rallies, and you're over here like you're taking math, you're taking history, you're taking chemistry, you're taking biology. It's so boring, dude. You're so angry. You don't understand anything. Yeah. You have all this rage, and if you're crazy, right, you're gonna end up like doing like a mass shooter. But if we change the curriculum to have people explore things like welding, like some type of mechanic, like some type of construction, like some type of like finance, and change the curriculum so that people, when they go to class, they want to go to school. Does that make sense? Well, people don't want to go to school. They just go because they have to. Make it so that people actually have to go, and then they don't care about all the drama that comes with high school.
Yeah, I think it's important, like for development, to be like in environments, like in a community. Like how important is a sense of community for everyone? Mm-hmm. Like everyone, you go to college, people join fraternities, people join intramural sports. People need a sense of community in every facet of life, and that goes for every gender. Mm-hmm. Male, female, even I'm sure trans. I mean, that's why they all jump on the bandwagon. Like they protect each other, right? They protect each other for a reason, right? The sense of community is important, and I think that those kids, I think COVID was a problem because it allowed children and people who feel, lost and they feel depressed and they feel like it allowed them to hide behind a mask, bro. So now they loved COVID because they didn't love it, but they liked the ability of hiding. They like the ability of staying in a room, just being on the computer, just being by yourself. And it instead of do you remember when you're like, I know I had this in Mexican culture, it's pretty common. You have family members come over during the holidays, and like you were young, and like you want to stay in your room, you want to and your parents, hey, come out and say hi to them. You gotta come and say hi to your family.
Dile hola a tu tía te ama.
Tienes que saludar.
And then your tía
no, wake up at 6 a.m., bro. Wake up at 6 a.m.
What?
Tienes que saludar a tu familia.
6 a.m.?
Yeah, my dad wakes up.
That never happened to me, bro.
6 a.m. We'd be like, what?
¿No te acuerdas de mí, mijo?
Bro.
Cuando saliste en el hospital, yo te cambié el pañal. ¿No te acuerdas de mí, mijo?
Yeah,
Mijo.
they changed your diaper when you were like kid.
Yeah, it's like you don't even know. It's aquí tengo una foto tuya.
But like those kids, you know, they don't have that. They were never forced to, you know, socialize even with their own family or even with people who they've never met. They might end up being friends with people, but they never had that. So I think, you know, like you said, you know, putting them into like, I don't know, because for school, it can be shitty, man. You can be the big fat kid who has no friends, and no one's gonna like. So, but it's up to that kid though to like, you know, work on himself, right? Even at that age, you gotta know like, hey, why don't I have friends? Okay, well, it seems that I'm kind of into some weird stuff. I'm into like comic books. I'm into anime, but not that even that's common now though. Like,
it's common.
That's cool now, right?
Yeah, it's like pop culture now.
So like, I don't know. I feel like it's on you to, you know, be able to socialize with others even at a young age. It's important. You gotta find a community. You gotta have friends you can count on. You gotta have people you can count on. You know.
Yeah, because there's so much emphasis. It's crazy because the educational system is so emphasized in like football and sports and like all these things because the school can actually make money off that. You know, they can have a football game Friday Night Lights and then they sell the nachos, the parents, you know, the cheerleaders. They get money off that. They don't care about the rest of the people. They just care about the people who are like the sports, and most of them like either they're stupid and they're you know all euphorious as fuck, or you know. Or maybe they're smart, but still, like if you're someone who is not good at sports, you feel like you hate the world because you can't date the cheerleader, you know. And it's just crazy. Like think about it, like in this day and age where like there's like social media, and you have to like not only like deal with not being cool in high school, but going home and then opening your Instagram, your TikTok, and then seeing the people in high school go viral for like some stupid thing, you know.
Yeah.
Like that'd be crazy, right?
That's true, but yeah, I think it's a problem. But what do you think? What do you think the solution that just don't have social media to like 18 or like?
No, I think the solution is like to the education system should have a curriculum that explores people's talents and abilities, and like just sets them up for like you should not have to go to college to become successful. Now it's like you finish high school, you go to college, and then you have to get a master's degree depending on your current path.
Yeah.
It should be that high school should be like where after high school you can become a person who generates wealth. So teach them skills that can be applied. Have some trade schools in the high school and support those programs. Like I think that could be it. I think maybe do pep rallies for more than just
even
football.
Nowadays, bro, like you see the plumbers, fucking HVAC technicians, they make more money than us, bro. That's 100%.
That should be in the high school program. Sure.
Exactly, bro. Like because that's such a coveted skill nowadays that not many have it. And people will pay up the ass for it, you know. Like if someone's AC breaks down during the winter, bro, shit, I guarantee you they'll pay a high buck just to get that shit back up next day or next week, you know.
I wonder what would happen if like me right now, if I just quit my job and then just become like HVAC, just learn it.
Bro, you've done that shit. You help your dad cut grass and shit.
Yeah, I was helping people cut grass. But like, do you think it happens where people who work in offices, like some of them just fuck this, I'm just gonna quit and go into like some trade?
That's shit. After seeing this video, you better go try that shit. You might start a company out there.
Just quit, go do HVAC, and then just use all my MBA to like market the business, right?
Based off everything we spoke in this video, you know. You have to quit your office job. You have to, you know, we live in a capitalist country, so you're gonna start your own business.
Yes.
After you learn that HVAC skill,
get a mortgage.
Give it to some immigrants, bro. And that's it. That's this whole podcast is how you become successful. Okay? And we're not gonna do it though, but you are, okay?
Yeah.
We don't listen to our own. We're smart enough to know what to do, we just don't do it.
Yeah, we just don't do it. That's the lesson here, okay? Now, listen to everyone's advice because they're not doing it themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
For real, man. Shit, hey, well, I think this podcast is going pretty good, bro. When we finally got it rolling.
Yeah.
You got to leave like in 10 minutes, right? But it's all good.
Yeah. All right, guys. Like it or not.
Fuck with it or not.
It's whatever. All right, that felt good.